Hello my good people and welcome to Legrand Media. Today we are touring Butere Railway Station. Yes, you heard me right. We are touring Butere Railway Station, a former reputable railway station that enhanced the economic status of Butere and the entire Western Kenya. By the way, this is where the railway in Kenya ends. Mkiona rail yenye inakuja Western Kenya inaishia hapa. You see those 2 points there? Yes. That is where the railway ends. This is a meter gauge railway, by the way. The one from Mombasa is the SGR, the standard gauge railway. The SGR from Mombasa meets the meter gauge railway at Naivasha. So at Naivasha, that is where the meter gauge railway comes, and it comes to Kisumu, alafu inapitia Lela, it goes to Namasoli, and then it comes to Butere. Sasa hii yenye mnaona hapa, hii inatoka Mombasa alafu inaishia hapa, okay? So hiyo unaona hapo, this is the meter gauge railway. So my friends, welcome to the Butere Railway Station, and let us explore the Butere Railway Station. Butere Railway Station is now a very beautiful place, and offices are being renovated to ensure the resumption of railway services here. Unaona hizo ofisi hapo, those offices, very beautiful. We also have a store right there where goods will be kept when the train will come here. We also have seats here that are here were built in the 1950s and 60s. I was not here, so I'm not sure of when these seats were built, but I came here and the locals told me that these seats were built in the 1960s and 70s there, and they are still very strong. Ni chuma na mbao, and they are still very strong. We have a canteen there where people, especially the staff that stays here, will be buying goods and using there. I will take you to the houses there later. You'll see the houses that the staff will be staying in. Many buildings here were wasting away, especially this office here, but they are now being renovated, including the toilets. Unaona hizo choo hapo, my friends? Yes, those toilets that are the ones that I'm telling you. They are being renovated, and every building that was wasting away here is being renovated, and it's now looking very beautiful. Others are yet to be renovated, such as that one that you are seeing right there. It is yet to be renovated. Overall, Butere Railway Station now has a new look. Even though the buildings were very old, they are now being renovated and repainted, and everything is now looking very beautiful. So we shall come back to this later. Let's look at the history. If you have not checked my Butere video on this channel, I encourage you to go and check. After watching that video, you will realize one thing, that Butere has not experienced significant progress since the 1970s and the 1960s there, okay? Butere imekuwa tu hivyo since the 1960s, 1970s, and the 1980s. Haija change sana. Most of the shops existing there today in Butere, if you go there, they were built in the 1970s when business was booming at Butere. The reason is that there was an active railway station here during that time that contributed to a lot of economic progress around Butere and its environs. So until Butere was seen as an economic hub of this place and its environs, that is why we had many government offices here. We have the IEBC offices here, we have the court here, we have the children's offices here. Tuna map office nyingi, but Butere itself imelala. And when you come to Butere, the only thing that is the most important here ni ofisi, okay? Butere is not vibrant like other towns like Mumias, even a place called Sabatia. So that is why Butere came to have a big name, because of this railway station and many government offices. When the railway failed, the economic progress at Butere slowed. The failure of the railway station also contributed to the stagnation of other towns along the railway line. Ukitafuta zile towns zilikuwa along the railway line, utapata they are not reputable like they were in the past. Why? Because when the railway slowed down, the economic activities went down, and that is how those towns lost money. Ndio maana towns zilikuwa za maana sana along the railway line like Butere, they now lost their glory. So wacha tuangalie ka history kidogo, tuelewe hii kitu ilitoka wapi. Remember, the very first railway was built in 1896 to connect Nairobi and Mombasa. Mombasa was very active, by the way. Mombasa port was very active during that time. And during that time, remember, we had colonialists here. We had the British, and the British had taken over East Africa, okay? They had colonized East Africa. And Mombasa was the port, and it had many goods that had to be transported inland. And that is why now they had to build a railway in 1896 to connect Nairobi and Mombasa. So traveling by train became the most convenient mode of transport from Mombasa to Nairobi. So when it became convenient like that, there was a need to extend the train services to the western parts of Kenya and other parts of Kenya. In 1931, the Butere Railway Station was commissioned. So when it was commissioned, we had many stopovers like Namasoli, we had Lela, we had Mohoroni, and many other stopovers, okay? So the Kenya Railways needed many people to watch over the train. And that is why the Kenya Railways started employing many people. I'm sure some people here, some people in their families worked for the Kenya Railways. Like, for example, my grandfather worked for the Kenya Railways. That is how the Kenya Railways came now to employ many people, because many people are using train services. So what happened? What happened to the Kenya Railways that now it disappeared just like that? Many people, especially young people, they don't know what happened. So let me tell you what happened. With the time, when the colonialists left, around 1980s, trains became problematic. For instance, a train could travel for 22 kilometers per hour. 22 kilometers per hour, my friend. Yani ungetoka mbio, wewe mbio ungeshinda hata train. The only benefit is that the train used fuel. Na wewe ungetumia energy. So it could go for a long distance. Remember, the railway was built by the colonialists. They used to repair it and they keenly watched over it. When we got independence and they left the train for us, mambo ya reli ikaanza kutushinda. For instance, the railway equipment started getting old and they were never repaired. The trains could just get out of service for several days, and the ones that were in operation, zilikuwa zinagonga animals and they experienced derailments. So the railway became unsustainable. It started making losses. Many people were retrenched. I know many of you, your grandfathers worked for the railways, walitolewa na hawakupewa pesa yao, and that is how it stopped being used. Watu sasa wakaanza kutumia nini? Magari. But now, just like the railways, also magari pia ziko na shida zake, especially the traffic issues that you usually see. So the problems with the traffic necessitated having a reliable rail transport system. In the Big Four agenda, transport was one of the most significant factors in addition to infrastructure and others, okay? So Kenya Railway was seen as an enabler of economic development. The government sought to expand the railway transport system to promote commuter services to other parts of the country. The government also thought that the railway system was also good because it will provide a viable transport solution for industrial inputs such as machinery, fuel, na zile steels zingebebwa na hiyo reli na zinaletwa to other parts of the country. Also, the government thought that the farm produce will also be transported to other towns. Yeah, so in the Big Four agenda, the railway system was seen as a very efficient mechanism by which people would promote their agriculture and other businesses. So we are looking at something that the government thought it would create many jobs and it would improve the economic situation of various towns, including Butere. Okay? That is why everything is now being revamped here. Look at that office, my friend. By the way, this building was wasting away. Vile niliwaambia, unaona hapo juu hapo? Unaona hapo juu hapo, it has just been repainted. Lakini ukiangalia hapa kando, hii ilikuwa inaoza. My friend, this one was just rotting. Lakini imepakwa rangi vizuri, and other parts of the building are still being renovated and repainted, and it's now looking very beautiful, okay? Some parts still look old, such as this section here, but overall, the office is very clean. This is now inside this office, and as you can see, repainting has been done inside here, and the office is now looking very beautiful. Remember that this is the reception. This is the reception. Mahali utakata risiti na utoke ni hapa. Unaona hapo kwa hiyo dirisha hapa. Hapa ndio utakata risiti na utoke. Inside here, wacha nikupeleke huko ndani. Inside here, we have places where they used to keep the receipts in the 1950s. Ni hapa. Unaona hapo? Unaona hiyo kabati hapo. Let me show you how they used to keep the receipts. Hizo ndo receipt hapo. You see that? Yes. That is how they used to keep the receipts. And some receipts zenye zilikuwa za 1950s, 1970s zilikatwa bado ziko hapa. Such as this one here. For instance, this one was issued to Wanjiku. Nadhani alikuwa amepata bwana Butere. Wanaume wa Butere wanapenda wanawake wa Kikuyu sana. So with the resumption of services, many bachelors at Butere will get wives from the mountain, okay? The only issue is that the government is refurbishing the old railway. Unaona hiyo railway hapo, my friend? The government is just refurbishing the old railway. Chuma nzile mzee tu. But it's better because the vision is to have an efficient system. I don't know how it will look like. I will just come here and see how it is being done, okay? So I was also amazed when I checked the huge national cereals produce board or warehouses. You can see those warehouses there. Those are very big. They are just beside the railway. They were built long time ago and they were just wasting away. Kwanza hizo mabati. Unaona hizo mabati hapo? Unaona hizo za mabati? Najua watu wengine mlikuwa mnafikiria hizo ni mashetani ama makanisa. Yeah? But they are not. Those are warehouses of the Kenya National Cereals and Produce Board. Hizo mabati si za kawaida. hizo zingeunganishwa tu na maskru, sio na misumari. Okay, so the rail that used to bring the farm produce here is here. Mnaona hii rail hapa, it's now very old, it has not been revamped yet. Mkiangalia bado ni mzee sana. Okay, so when it used to come, inasimama hapa and the farm produce will be removed here na inawekwa kwa warehouse. So we hope that when the rail services resume, the farm produce will be brought from here na inawekwa hapa ndani ya warehouse. I am not sure if the warehouses will resume services because the locals have turned these warehouses into nursery schools. Ati watu wa hapa wamebadilisha hizi warehouses za agriculture kukuwa a nursery school. We are complaining about hunger and we have a fertile land and warehouses, but we have converted warehouses into nursery schools because the railway system failed, because the government could not take care of the railway system. Sisi wa Afrika haki tunakuanga na shida. Haki mimi naombanga Mungu, sisi wa Afrika tuko na shida kubwa sana, because if we had taken very good care of the railway system and the people of Butere would be producing many different kinds of foods, they would be transported to other places and the people here would have money and everything would be okay. But now look at the situation here. Mimi naonanga ni kama Afrika tuko na shida kidogo. So guys, this is no longer the Butere Ghost Railway Station as we used to call it. It is now the new Butere Railway Station, though with an outdated infrastructure. The commuter services are yet to start, but we hope that they will start very soon. I live here and I will keep you updated on what will happen on the Butere Railway Station. Thank you for watching this and stay here for more of such developments in Western Kenya. Keep it locked here at Le Grand Media.
Mbinu za hasla, tengeneza mipango mapema. Mbinu za hasla, kauka kazini sichelewe. Mbinu za hasla, ng'ang'ana jikaze usichekwe. Mbinu za hasla, usijaze madeni mwilini. Zitafute njia za mkato.